So the CEO of YouTube, Susan Wojcicki, recently made some statements that lots of people have fallen for, just hook, line, and sinker. And I want to explain to you today, because this is so important, that what she's saying is actually that for independent producers of news and politics on YouTube, it's about to get much, much worse. What's happened already is only going to get worse. And a lot of people are not understanding this, and I want to lay it out for you. So let me lay this out for you. I've been behaving and not talking about YouTube issues for weeks at this point, but now that she's made these statements, I really have to talk about them. So I hope you'll give me some leeway here, because this is important stuff. Susan Wojcicki is being lauded for saying that it's, quote, more important than ever that people should be allowed to upload anything they want at any time to YouTube. Wow. Free speech, diversity of voices. YouTube is turning the corner. Things are going to get better for everybody, including for independent producers like us and many of our colleagues. Wrong. Okay, let me break this down for you, because you really have to read sort of between the lines and in context to understand what it is that Susan Wojcicki is announcing here. She wrote a letter to creators a few days ago, and she, as the CEO of YouTube, said a few things. Number one, she again said, preserving an open platform is more important than ever, that the problematic content is a really small piece of what's uploaded to YouTube, that they are working to reduce that even further, and that it is more important than ever that anyone get to upload whatever they want, of course, assuming that it is not illegal content. And this was interpreted by many, and dozens of people in my audience emailed me saying, David, look, Susan Wojcicki is saying it's going to be great. You're going to do fine. Your content is going to be prioritized and monetized and all of this stuff. This is not what Susan Wojcicki is saying. The headlines are just gushing about how great this is. The reality is that being able to upload anything you want deals not at all with monetization and deals not at all with deprioritization, the two things that independent news producers like the David Pakman Show have been facing. The issue for independent producers like us is not that at any point there was a question about whether I'd be able to upload whatever I want, whenever I want. That was never the issue. The issues are the speech limiting force of demonetization on uploads deemed controversial by YouTube, and the deprioritization of independent news content in favor of legacy corporate news content. And that's actually going to get worse. Wojcicki goes on to say in this letter that people are just like blindly gushing about. She says, we raise up, as part of the commitment that she is now making, she says, we raise up authoritative voices when people are looking for breaking news and information. This is an announcement where she is saying, we are going to even more prioritize so-called authoritative voices at the expense of non-authoritative voices, which, as we know, means CNN's YouTube channel and MSNBC's and Fox News's YouTube channels and late night talk shows with tens of millions of dollar production budgets at the expense of the David Pakman Show and Sam Seder and Kyle Kulinski and all of the others. This is what happened already. The announcement is saying we are going to do more of what we've been doing for the last year. We're going to keep letting you upload whatever you want, whenever you want, as she says. But what we're going to promote to the audience is authoritative news content, meaning corporate media. So let me remind you, because this is not me saying this is going to happen. This has happened. It's happening already. Last summer, YouTube said, for the first time, in news and politics, we are going to be pushing authoritative sources more. Within weeks, YouTube's algorithm took away about 2 to 2.5 million views per month from us through what's called the recommended view algorithm. As you can see on screen, right after YouTube made this announcement, around the time YouTube made this announcement about pushing authoritative news, we were getting about 3.5 million views per month just from the recommended view algorithm, meaning you're watching something else and YouTube says, hey, you might like to check out this clip of the David Pakman Show. From 3.5 million to just 1.5 million in the last few months, and in June, barely 1 million of those views. This is a shortfall. This is what Susan Wojcicki is cheering about. We're pushing and prioritizing authoritative content. For us, that has so far meant a shortfall of 2 to 2.5 million views per month since YouTube first announced this. 2 million views per month as a shortfall, as just a snap of the fingers, it's gone, is a lot of revenue for us. It adds up very, very quickly. And now Susan Wojcicki is hiding in what is being framed as a beautiful, positive letter of love to creators. They are once again going to keep pushing corporate authoritative news sources, so-called authoritative news sources. This is a disaster for channels like ours. And the latest, by the way, is that something in the YouTube algorithm now is hurting new subscriber numbers as well. If you look at recent new subscribers for a lot of independent news channels, including ours, daily news subscribers are all trending down. And it's not because of what any one channel is doing, because they're all trending down. I didn't pull the data visually to show you, but it's available online. You can find it. So YouTube is saying everything's great, peace and love, it's all going to be wonderful. And the reality is that it's going to be more of the same problems that we've had. So listen, like I've said before, the solution here is we've just got to sever the tie between ad dollars and monetizing content. Right now, the amount of monetization we receive, the amount of revenue we receive on YouTube depends on, does YouTube say that what we are publishing is too controversial to run ads? If so, then we don't make any money. Is YouTube saying, okay, what you're publishing is not too controversial, but we are going to suggest to viewers that they look at CNN's coverage of it or Fox News's coverage of it instead of your coverage of it? And the solution is we've got to sever that tie. Support the shows that you like directly. I don't care what shows they are. If it's not this one, if you say, you know, David, I really, what you do is okay, but I think these other 5 producers are much better, support them, okay? With us, you can support the work we do directly. You can circumvent this entire advertiser monetization link that exists by going to our website, joinpakman.com, and just getting a membership. This is cheap, right? We're not talking about a lot of money, talking about a few bucks a month. You can use the coupon code HALF19 to save 50% off of your membership. Takes under a minute, you get extra content, and you're supporting us. You give us insurance against these changes that Susan Wojcicki is gleefully announcing they're going to make. You can also make a pledge on Patreon just as quick, and you might already have a Patreon account if you're supporting other shows there at patreon.com/David Pakman Show. Thank you for letting me rant. We can now continue with the show. I've been good. I haven't done the YouTube stuff for, it feels like it's been close to a month, probably more like 3 weeks, but it just had to be discussed today.